I cannot explain how happy I am to hear the insights, but I also cannot explain how crazy happy I am about the next thing that's going to happen here. So who has a startup and who's currently walking to the doors, please come back. We are having a pitching competition here right now. And we started this tradition last year of bringing on the stage some of the greatest investors and let them do 2-minute pitches because the money only is as good as the knowledge that the investors can cover. So we are sort of looking forward to hear from them if they're any good. Can we give some applause to, this is not really easy, right? So can we give some applause to the investors? You can come on stage. Oh, they're getting some microphones in there. That's all right. Yeah, you can come on stage. It's all right. It's, so let me first of all quickly find
that ice cream.
Yeah. So
great.
just
Love the ice cream. Beautiful. Hey guys, you should try the ice cream. They're amazing. Should we sit down?
Yeah, you can sit down. But the one who's going to pitch, you're going to have
PAULA.
2 minutes.
PAULA, you obviously have the queen chair, please.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
We're going to have 2 minutes, and I'm going to...
We're going to lounge on the back here.
Let me give you...
There we go.
Let me give you a quick description. What do I expect from you? So these ladies and gentlemen were briefed about it before. I really hope so. If not, I'm really sorry. But so you have 2 minutes on stage. And I'd like to kindly ask you to cover the following things. So you have a one-liner where I would like you to introduce, like, please tell your name, please describe your fund, just like one sentence, the fund size, the stage, deal size, geography, industry, how many deals per year do you do, just like very brief, quick overview. And then what's your investment fund's unique value proposition? So just because you're on the stage, no, you're not awesome. You have to have something better to have for our entrepreneurs. And just like be as precise as you possibly can. Like you add knowledge. That's not an answer. It's like what exactly you help to whom. Again, I just want to have like one sentence. Like, can you give me like 1 or 2 companies, 1 or 2 really, really specific cases when you think that you've been most valuable as investor, as a board member, as advisor, as anyhow involved with an entrepreneur, where your value add really mattered. Because we always ask for the value proposition from the startups. We would really, really appreciate to have that from you as well. What is your greatest professional success preferably related to the fund you're currently representing, but definitely referring to a company where you were involved as advisor or investor? What have you screwed up? Like it may be something you didn't close as a deal, it may be something you missed out on, or it may be something else. And
that's a lot already, by the way. Do you want to make us a list of things?
It's the things that I'm expecting you to cover.
If you were to be an investor, you'd be out of the room right now. Come on, this is like a lot of questions.
Oh, well, I've actually really hoped that you can cover these things. I mean, these are only the tips. If you don't cover them, we may ask some questions. If you happen to have any success, can you share any numbers? Any exits would be really good. So if you say that your success is that your founders are really great, that's not your success. So your success is what have you done with a result as an investor? Have you been useful that you can show would be really appreciated. And basically anything else valuable for the startups to know, for them to consider you for the next round. So I may just start from you here. You can start. If the mic doesn't work, I can give you my mic.
Put me in the front, so I have to go first. So they have it so much easier.
Please stand up. I'm gonna time you. So.
Oh wow!
So you're gonna have 60 seconds. If you run over the time,
moral support here, you guys.
You can probably be. All right. Time is on.
Okay. Hi, my name's PAULA GOULD. I'm principal at Frumtak Ventures in Reykjavik, Iceland. We are one of 5 venture firms in Iceland. I know that sounds small, but it's actually a lot per capita. We have 2 funds under management, about 72 million euros across 16 portfolio companies. We've just deployed the last of our 2nd fund, and we'll be raising our 3rd fund this year. 2018. What makes us unique? Well, we're based in Reykjavik, Iceland, and all of the people in our funds have deep international experience. So I'm from the States. I've worked a lot in different markets. One of our partners worked in the Netherlands for 18 years. And our other partner has worked really all over the place. We're a general fund, which means that we can capture innovation where innovation is happening. But it has to be tied to Iceland in some way. So that can mean Icelandic founders in Sweden or Denmark and the UK. That can mean you have an office, a development office, or a sister office in Iceland. So we definitely have a unique niche. So if you are interested in doing business in the Nordics, we'd probably be a really good fund for you. What else did you need? Failures? Successes?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I've only been at the fund for a year. So my success, I guess, is going into our portfolio companies, analyzing their business operations and their marketing and sales functions, and figuring out a way to see where they need the most help. So if they have strengths operationally but don't have strengths in marketing and sales, I either go in and help them strategize, or I find the people to go into the companies for them. Failures. I mean, I've been there for a year, so give me another year to find a, to find a failure. But our exits, Data Market was one of our bigger exits. They sold into Click in the US. Me personally, I've had several exits. I was on the board of directors of Clara, which sold into Jive Software in the US. I was the CMO of Green Cloud, which sold into NetApp this summer. I've worked on a lot of startups that have sold into other bigger companies. So,
thank you.
Thanks.
Do you want me to stand up as well?
Yes.
Yep.
Actually, you know what?
If you run over time, then I will not ask you questions.
Wait, did I run over time?
You were 2 minutes and 40 seconds, so
all right.
I'm just not going to ask you questions, so you're not going to benefit from all these wonderful people kind of being able to ask you questions. So that's your choice. So restarting it again.
All right. Hi, everyone. I can't hide behind the podium. Oh, yeah. Fine, I'm not hiding. In the middle. Wow, putting you on the spot. Hello, everyone. So first of all, I lost my phone a second ago. So if you see an iPhone 10 somewhere, please bring it back to me. So my name is RAPH. I'm from Startup Bootcamp. We are a global accelerator. We have 21 programs around the world. We invest in about 10 companies per program. So you make the math. You know, we see a lot of companies. And we take them from early seed stage up to Series A. We help them get into market. And we are verticalized. So we look at different industries. So from fintech to insurtech to digital health to food tech to cybersecurity to IoT, you name it. That's what we do. So we don't have the size of a fund as such, but we invest in companies globally, and then we help them get to corporate partners, to get to corporate investors, as well as to traditional VCs and angels. I'm personally based in London, where there's still a lot of capital, Brexit or not, still a lot of capital in there, and so we help them go through that transition. What else do we need to know?
Any successes happen? Any failures?
No.
Like, what are your failures, and do you have any successes?
So we actually onboarded one success. We onboarded one Latvian company this year. Is that a success? Yeah, it's a success, right? There you go. There you go. Pretty good. They're actually pitching later on, robotic solution. Go and see them. Matisse is probably somewhere here. Failures, we see them all the time, obviously. This is part of the game, right? We have a ratio which is fairly high. We have 75% of our companies that get funded. We have more than 80% survival rate after having helped more than 500 companies around the world for the last 7 years. So we're pretty happy about this. But as you know, the bigger you grow, the more likely your KPI will go down. So the failures for us is, based on our non-ability to actually see a company grow. I personally don't really care about an exit, even though, don't get me wrong, that's a nice cherry on the cake. But it's more about getting those companies to where they need to be. And that's the number one thing we keep in mind when we onboard companies is you as a founder need to tell me where you need to be in 10 years from now or 5 years from now, what you want to do with your company.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. The time is up. All right, Rockstart.
Thank you. Marvin just said back there that only first person gets to be original.
Louder, please.
Okay, so Marvin just said back there that only first pitcher gets to be original and everybody else gets to copy, but that's not true because we can't hear anything back there. So I haven't heard what the previous people said, so let's consider this original, and if I repeat something said before me, it's totally not intentional. So evidently I do represent Rockstar. My name is Andrei Deheler, and I am the head of brand and community. We are an accelerator. We have been around for about 6 years. We have invested in about 128 startups so far. We run a few different programs. There is one horizontal program that is called Web and Mobile, which is there for startups working across different industries, including SaaS startups, web apps, mobile apps, everything that falls in between. Also, we have a few vertical programs that is digital health program, smart energy program, artificial intelligence one. These are for more focused support for startups working in industries that require a lot of specific domain expertise. The way we describe and position our programs is that we provide access to community, to expertise, to market, and to knowledge for the startups using our networks of mentors, alumni, people who work physically at our location, who create the community, but also our network of investors that are quite eager usually to invest in startups that graduate from Rockstart. Over 6 years, we have just started seeing interesting exits from our programs. One of the notable successes have been Werker. That's a Dutch startup that have recently been acquired by Oracle. In general, we have a funding rate of 66% for startups that graduate from our programs more than 6 months ago.
Thank you, thank you. All right,
Am I out of time?
Okay, I don't think, thank you, you can sit down. That was wonderful. I didn't understand a single word you were saying, but that was good, thank you.
Seriously? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but like, okay, seriously, startups, like, who is a startup here? All right, let's just have a break before we go to Marvin. I can't take it anymore. So who's a startup here? Raise your hands, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was the most memorable of all the pitches you heard so far? Zach, yeah, just come over here and just be very loud, or is there anybody can bring the throwable microphone to this person over there? I can't really hear. Can we get a microphone there? Okay, so. Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, I was expecting that. I really was. Okay, so any questions? Can we get a microphone to those people who's... Okay, so please raise the hand who was speaking. So we're gonna throw, it's a very nice microphone. We're gonna throw you a microphone. It's a microphone. It's a Latvian microphone. So we have this microphone. I'm not no pitching here. Of startups doing microphones. It's a Latvian company, by the way. It's called Catchbox. Who wants to say a question? Raise a hand. What was the most memorable things that these people were telling here so far? Yeah, it's a question. Can anybody say anything about the pitches so far? Okay, yeah.
I think most interesting, PAULA. She's first of all brave enough to do business in Iceland, which you got to be pretty damn brave. And she's the only woman on the panel as well. Where are the women VCs? Come on.
It's worth noting that of the 4 people in our fund, 3 of them are women.
That's Iceland for you. Yeah.
Thank you. So, all right, let's go to Marvin. So, you have 2 minutes. I really, really hope that we will at least be able to articulate what you're telling. Thank you.
I'll do my best. All right, so my name is Marvin. I'm a partner of 500 Startups. So yes, I think we're somewhat known. We are a venture capital fund and accelerator program. We've been around for 7 years. Our accelerator program's been around for 6 years, so we are considered one of the big 3. So that should say something enough already. We focus on seed and pre-seed stage companies. So I would say that we're also one of the very few sort of accelerator programs that actually focus on helping companies with sales and marketing. This is an area that, frankly speaking, most startups suck at, and this is an area that we are very, very helpful in. I think the other difference is, for our program, is that most of us who've actually running the program and actually work in the program have actually been in startups and actually have some operational background. So we can literally help the companies and actually have experience. And we have not sold out to corporates. So we are an independent accelerator program. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry. So we've actually invested over 600 companies, just to give you a general idea of just how selective we are. We get about 2,500 companies per program, 2,500 applications. We take in 35 to 45 companies. So it is not easy to get in. It's harder to get into our program than to get into Stanford or Harvard. What else do I say? I think that's basically it. I don't know if any.
Yeah. So successes? Any successes so far?
I'm still early. I've only been doing this for 4 years, but we have companies like Shippo. They started from very, very early. I think they're a couple months in, and now they just recently raised. This is about 3 years later on. They've raised. Not to say fundraising is a success, right? But they've raised probably close to $50 million. Recently closed a very large Series B. Neighborly, tackling the municipal bonds market, recently raised like $30 million total. And so very, very early days for us. I don't know if I shouldn't be mentioning these companies. It's not public yet. But
any failures then? Any like?
Boy, that'd be awkward if I talk about your company, right? But no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. The reality is that we invest in pre-seed and seed companies. So 80% of our companies will be dead in 2 years from now. So that's a reality. All right. Anyways.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Christian Laneman. I'm a partner at Karma Ventures, and we are a deep tech VC fund from Tallinn, Estonia, but we invest anywhere in Europe. We invest mainly in seed and Series A stage, and our investment size ranges from, let's say, 400,000 to 3 million. I'd like to kind of tell you that we have a magic crystal ball based on which we make kind of investment decisions, and later we can tell to startups what they need to do. We do have a crystal ball, but it doesn't work. So what we actually do is we do a lot of work with startups, and we do everything that top-tier brand name VC does, but we are here. We are close to startups of this region, and we offer our support in different areas that all the best VCs do. Namely, what we have done, we have helped companies to raise capital, we have helped them to find like really good people. We've actually been like psychiatrists to some of our founders because it's a tough journey. So this is what we have done. Something that we've failed at, I mean, obviously, as all VCs, we also have many companies in which we haven't invested, but that have done extremely well. If I try to recall the names from our previous opportunities that we didn't take, I mean, names like Evernote, Rovio, TransferWise, these kind of names come to my mind. So obviously these are failures. From success side, I mean, altogether we've had like 12 really good exits. So that's pretty good from where I stand. I wouldn't actually, you know, there isn't any specific cases that would be much better than else. We haven't had a unicorn, so we are still looking for that. And also here, I mean, I can tell you now that we've now completed the first investment in Latvia. You will find out soon what it is, but we are here for more. So if any one of you has a startup in deep tech field looking for seed or Series A stage funding, then christian@karma.vc is the email. So thank you.
Thank you. So any of the founders here who has raised money, have you ever received any medical or therapeutical help from your board? No, so I believe that's a complete unique value proposition. I really haven't heard that before. All right, thank you. EAMONN.
Hello. Oh, good grief. My name's EAMONN CAREY. I'm a venture partner at Zeroth AI. Zeroth is an AI and machine learning and computer vision focused accelerator based out of Hong Kong. Probably the youngest of the funds that are pitching on stage here. So it only started comparatively recently, about a year ago. We've invested in 23 companies, mostly from around Asia, but a couple in Europe. I guess our value proposition is we've got great mentors and advisors, so everyone who's involved has got some empathy when it comes to running companies, because we've all done it before, in most cases successfully and in many cases unsuccessfully as well, so we know what it's like to run into a brick wall repeatedly, and hopefully can help you get over some of those obstacles. And from a deep tech perspective, we've got amazing mentors, people like Jan Talen, who is the technical co-founder at Skype and early investor in DeepMind, and others, people like Antoine Blondeau, who's Sentient AI is one of the highest funded AI companies and one of the better ones out there in the world today. So great network of people who can help. Previously, I guess I was at Techstars, so I've been investing in companies for quite a long time in Europe, US, and Asia. I'll tell you a story of success and failure. Not a Zeroth company, but about 5 years ago, someone came to me with this idea of investing in co-working spaces, and they would open co-working spaces all over the world, and it was going to be a huge business, and I thought this was amazing. Unfortunately, the company I invested in was not called WeWork. It had a different name. That company had an exit, which will be announced later on this week, and this is the dirty little secret of angel investing. When I calculated the value per share of the exit, I'm going to make £15, right? Not £15 profit, £15 overall from the exit. So when people talk about the value of exits, they never tell you the fact that actually most of them are acqui-hires, and nothing ever comes out of it. And if you're wondering why I have this kind of slightly bulbous head, this is because I will literally fight for the companies in my portfolio. So yeah, you can look forward to that. But come talk to me later on if you want to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Peter, and I'm the new kid on the block here, I guess. So I'm a partner at Overkill Ventures, which is a brand new fund we're setting up here in Riga. It's still in the process to be set up, but we'll be up and running early next year. So we'll be investing in pre-seed and seed stage startups across Central and Eastern Europe, focusing mainly on B2B startups. So apart from the funding, we'll also provide access to international experienced mentors. And we also have a strategic partner, which is La Telecom. So it will also be a great experience and opportunity for the startups to land La Telecom as their customer or a partner. Successes, failures from this fund, obviously not yet. I look forward to that, I guess. But some other partners on the team have a little bit more VC experience than I do as well. So there have been some exits in the previous funds they worked at. Anything else?
Well, thanks. You actually did it in 58 seconds, so I was by far fastest pitch today. Thank you so much for that.
At least the fastest.
All right. So let me ask you this. Just gonna get like a flash. So start with you because you have a mic. Because you have two mics. All right. So just start with you. So I'm gonna ask you like one sentence. If you have a dream industry, startup, and stage where you want to invest, let's say blockchain and under 50K or whatever you want, just like one sentence each, and then this way around. Your dream startup. What do you want? Industry, 2 industries, and approximately the stage. No startup. You don't want any startups. All right, that's easy.
from a personal perspective, machine learning companies that are looking to raise, their first kind of 150,000 €/$/pounds, and from a personal investment perspective, anyone who's doing anything in food tech at any stage.
All right. And anybody's like, just do it totally free.
For me, maybe the human-machine interaction is a field which is interesting. We've invested in a few cases in that field, and I think a lot is going on there. So, and especially if the company has really strong IP and technology in it. So that would be it.
We invest in all different industries, but I guess the space I'm actually probably most excited about is fintech, particularly, because I just hate big banks and I want to see them all destroyed. So that's my area.
Vertically speaking, for us, it would be digital health and smart energy. So everything that is about making healthcare better and about making energy and alternative sources and sustainability work better for everybody in the world.
On that one, I'm all about IoTs, connected devices. And we started last year consumer. We went to B2B this year. And what I'm looking for next year is social impact. So any technology that would make an impact on society, educational change, health, all those things, I'm very interested to look into this. I know it's coming, so don't be shy, guys. Create the next big thing.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. And I also like social impact. No, one of the things that I really believe in is profitability with a positive impact on society. So social impact is, of course, one of those areas for me personally. As a general fund, it's really hard for me to pinpoint exactly like what will go next. We just like companies that have good turnover and that grow, and that we have decent exits, and that we can have good partners along the way. So, but social impact, I'll say.
Yeah.
So yeah, we mainly look for companies that can increase the productivity in a workplace, so whether that be an office or a factory. So kind of ideal cases, either some IoT solutions or machine learning, or the combination of the two.
So my next question is going to be, probably you're going to say, just come talk to me, but how do one pitch you? What's the best way to approach you? So you're going to walk around. So I know some of you are involved in pitch competitions here, and some of you are involved in dealing with startups that are already startups and applied before, but as I'm lazy usually, so if people are just here in the audience and they have an idea or startup or like a premature company and they just want to talk to you, what is the best way of approaching you? Is like, hey, I have this startup, blah blah blah. It's just like, I know people are waiting at the bathroom and just like not letting the investors in. I know they're just like totally shy, and then they're emailing long emails after event, and God forbid, just like keep emailing all the time. So what's the best way to approach you?
Yeah, we, even though we're based in Iceland, we have an open door policy. So the philosophy at our firm is to take the meeting. So if, a ton of people visit Iceland all the time to hike a glacier or do the ring road when they're discovering themselves.
Hike the glacier, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
this is pretty awesome.
So a lot of times people don't realize that they can come in and meet with us, but that's changing quite a lot.
Just go to Iceland and meet you. Okay, so
just
keep to one sentence each, please.
So just come to Iceland and meet us. So we take those meetings, and we repeatedly take those
All right,
meetings.
thank you. Next. One sentence.
Don't come to me in the toilet. Don't tell me you're the next Huber of something. Other than that, raph@startupbootcamp.org. Just drop me a line.
Everything works. We run an artificial intelligence competition tomorrow, and if you're not in that industry, just approach me here or shoot an email. Email is the best.
I'm a traditionalist. Don't pitch me. Get an introduction. It's not that hard to get an introduction to me. We've invested in 1,800 companies, so there's 3,600 founders out there. I'm also friends with most investors, so find a way to get to me by introductions.
Would you take an intro from me? Okay.
We screen actually everything that comes in, and we at least take a look. The way to get attention is exactly, as Marvin said, through introductions, or then if you have really excellent achievements from the past in the field. So if that comes out in the first few sentences of the email, then you have my attention and I'm hungry to learn more. So.
Show me, don't tell me, right? So if you like, show me a prototype, show me something clickable. If you don't have an actual app that I can use, you know, I'm not interested in necessarily hearing an idea. I want to see that you've taken some concrete steps to make that real and you know, manifest.
So we're still young and hungry, so you can approach us in any way possible. We're not as overwhelmed as the other guys probably are yet. And yeah, just be very crisp and brief in the way you describe everything. And we just don't want to read like page-long emails. That's it.
All right, I think that's the conclusion. Thank you so much. So I believe that you should still try to approach everybody, including Marvin. I believe he's going to be around. So if you see him, you say, he's like, you know, like, Aldous probably told me to talk to you, or don't say that, but he'll probably punch me and you. But just like go talk to these wonderful people, because I think that first of all is like, do not ever raise money from the wrong investors. That's going to screw your company. So just make sure that it actually makes sense, and think of investors. So we did this format because we really want to put investors and startups in the same field. Because it is really about the partnership between the investors and the startups. It's not about somebody's giving the money and dictating the rules, or somebody's being so great and just like taking the money and never talking to investors. It mostly works when there's a synergy on both sides, and there's like a right person on the both sides to actually make this thing happen. And I've really seen a really wonderful synergy. So use the chance, get to know the people. Really, introductions is good, not because Marvin or all the other people here don't want to talk to you just because nobody introduced you, but because they can go back to that person and ask some like honest opinion. So you introduced me to this startup. What do you yourself think about it? And that's a yeah, okay. But that's going to be our conclusion. So let me give you the mic, and that's the end of this panel. Thank you, everybody.
To his point about approaching investors, when you approach the investor and you're talking about how great you are and your company is, also have some insight into how your company can benefit the investor as well. So like, what is it about your company that would be a good match for the investor?
Yeah, and so to conclude this, I think one startup accelerator, won't name whom, had a t-shirt saying, "Don't pitch me, bro." So really don't pitch, just like go and tell what you do. If you have no story, just tell what your idea is and ask for opinion, ask for advice. That's a very good way of starting a conversation. If you say, give me the money, anybody ever got the money this way? I really, really doubt that. So, okay, have fun, enjoy the time in DFF. I have to run to the next panel. Everybody else has to do the same. So let's go network.